interest as we get closer to training camp and some teams' quarterback situations flesh themselves out, or don't. Tight end Zach Ertz of the Eagles is almost certainly done in Philadelphia. To this point, they haven't moved him because they haven't felt like they've been offered fair compensation. They don't want to just give him away. But a team that needs a veteran tight end that can still be productive. He's been rumored a lot to Buffalo, would be a good fit there. Still a deal that could happen before training camp, before the start of the regular season. And this is one I feel like we've been talking about for a couple of months. Stephon Gilmore with the Patriots. There's a lot of different ways the Patriots' cornerback situation could shake out. But Gilmore's in the last year of his contract. He's only making $7 million this year, which is not top cornerback money. If you acquire him, you probably have to give him a new deal, and that's one of the reasons he hasn't been moved yet. But that doesn't mean he can't be before the start of the season.
As a guy who's Defensive Player of the Year 2 years ago, we are right now 100 days till the start of next year's regular season. So all those are fascinating to watch. But by far the biggest story of the NFL offseason, of course, is that man, Aaron. Aaron Rodgers choosing not to attend Packers OTAs last week, as you well know. His standoff with the Packers front office seemingly has no end in sight. The 37-year-old quarterback with 3 years remaining on his contract with the team has made no secret of his desire to be moved, and they've made no secret of their lack of desire to move him. So right now, Dan Graziano, and no one is as plugged in on this situation as you are, what is the latest coming out of Green Bay?
Right now, the Packers are firm in their intention to hold on to Aaron Rodgers and try and get it fixed. The key thing to see, we talk about June 1st as a key date. The key dates here are June 8th, which is their mini camp that starts next week. It's mandatory. July 27th, which is the start of training camp, and September 12th, which is their first game. If he's still not there at any or all of those mileposts, then that's when the Packers can become convinced, hey, he's serious. He doesn't want to play for us anymore. Maybe we do have to look into trading him. But right now, they need to see proof of that before they decide to go ahead and make this move.
I want to make sure that we're clear on this. Are you telling me there is some uncertainty amongst the Packers front office about his resolve? Like, I think the whole world thinks he has dug in.
Right, but it's good business on the Packers' part to make sure that's true, right? I mean, you don't want to just take his word for it. Look, if he's really willing to sit out, then something has to happen to prove that to you, or else you're not going to make a decision that's going to completely alter the direction of your franchise. At some point, he may decide, you know what, I can put my personal feelings about the front office aside. I think this is the best chance to win a Super Bowl. I don't want to let my teammates down, et cetera, et cetera. So they have time for him to show them that he's serious.
And Teddy Bruschi is like, you don't see it at all, right, Teddy? That's a man with ironclad resolve.
Aaron Rodgers putting personal feelings aside.
It did sound very silly, didn't it?
No. It's just not happening.
You had fascinating perspective, Teddy, as we were talking this morning about the way other players on that team will view this, because it does feel like it's getting set to drag out a while, and the toll that is going to take on the rest of that locker room.
Yes, it's you're really conflicted inside the locker room, because deep down, the number one thing you want is this. You want Aaron Rodgers on your team. You want him to be the quarterback. You know you're a better team with him. You can win the Super Bowl, all of that. Do what you got to do to bring him back. But you also know Aaron, and you know how this went down, and you know how he feels disrespected, and you know when a person like this feels disrespected, he's going to do something about it, and finally he is. He threw the monkey wrench in there, like he says. I mean, I won that MVP, and now it's like, you're going to look at these Instagram pictures of me on vacation, because right now it's about me, and I want out of that place, and that's how it is. So get him back however you can, but don't let it drag on. So that's what we're thinking in the locker room, because you get into September, like Graz is talking about, and everyone's thinking about, you're looking at the door the entire time, like, is this the day? Is this the day Aaron comes back? And let's just say this, what if he does come back? What's his state of mind when he comes back? We're talking about the quarterback position here. The state of mind of your quarterback being not happy, disgruntled, getting a year out of the way. I mean, I don't know if you want that in your locker room conducive to winning championships.
And Mike Tannenbaum, you were telling us this morning, as one who was sat in that chair and made these decisions, this is going to drag on. You don't see any way in the world, as Dan was going through the mileposts, that this gets settled before September.
Yeah, and here's why. the bulk of the compensation, if Green Bay ever traded Aaron Rodgers, would be for draft choices. There could be a player or two thrown in there, but it's basically going to be for a lot of picks, which will be next April. So if you're Green Bay, if it's June 2nd, July 2nd, August 2nd, September 2nd, October 2nd, it really doesn't matter. So time is on your side for reasons Teddy and Dan talked about, which is if you're Green Bay, you want to be patient, see if you could try to bring him back. Now, I see things a little bit differently from Teddy, which is if he's there, he's a competitor. He'll want to win with his teammates. He can be mad at the front office. I understand, I've been there. But if you're Green Bay, you have to do everything within reason to get this worked out, because if he leaves and you don't win, it's over for you, and they know that. So that's why you have to take time. You have to be extremely patient, and hopefully you can wait him out well into, even if it's the month of September. Remember, 17 games. If he misses 2 or 3, it's still a long race.
Go ahead, Teddy.
Yeah, and we as players are going to respect upper management for doing that, Mike T. And it's just that, we want you to do that. I mean, we start 0-2, 0-3, and it starts to drag on. The way Aaron Rodgers feels towards the front office is going to trickle down to all of us who are there. And what we're going to think is, you did this. You're the reason
right,
why we have all this. So either get him back or cut the cord.
Right, and my response to that is, yeah, we're 0-3, and I feel awful that we are, but the best chance for us to win is to get the reigning MVP back in this building. We've been to the Final Four the last 2 years. He's the best person on the planet to give us the best chance to win. So you go recruit him, we'll recruit him, but by far, he gives us the best chance to win this year.
It's like, hey, I tried, and it's just not happening. Get it through your head. Aaron's not coming back. Now what are we going to do about it? Because I got a relationship with him. Of course, okay, I'm a player. I want to get to him. All of this stuff we're talking, it's not happening. Let's move on. That's the conflict that you have in the locker room, comparable to what Mike T's talking about upstairs.
That is what
Teddy, you're telling that to the wrong guy.
It seems to be on the horizon.
I was going to say, Brett Favre told us no.
Go ahead, Mike. Finish up. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, Teddy, Brett Favre told us no for 3 weeks. We made him a Jet. It didn't happen overnight. So I think that's part of being in the front office. That's being part of a dynamic head coach is you just got to keep looking for the answers, because it doesn't happen overnight, but this is too big of a risk for them to move on.
And that's coming full circle, because when Brett Favre became a Jet, who became the starting quarterback of the Packers? Oh, right, it was Aaron Rodgers. Okay, let's leave that there for the moment. A lot more to do on this. But Teddy, here we go. Here comes our first ever installment of our new segment called Teddy, Set, Go. And it begins with your old quarterback, your old buddy, Tom Brady. What are we thinking?
All right, Green, let's talk about things that I'm excited about watching this new 17-game schedule, and if the Bucs can go back-to-back, because the last team that did it was Tom Brady's Patriots, and Tom Brady can possibly do it with 2 different teams, but Devin White and that defense are going to be the stars. I think Devin White can be Defensive Player of the Year. That's how good this defense is. They will lead this team, especially early on. I can't wait to watch Devin White and the Buccaneers defense go out there and defend their title. All right, the next thing I'm looking for here is in terms of the 17-game season, a lot of marks are going to go down. Rushing titles, passing titles, receiving marks. But 22.5 is the number I want to see if it can be beat. And I think Chase Young can be the guy to break Michael Strahan's record. This young pass rusher has the defense to support him. And I want to see Strahan's record go down, being done in that last week of the season by Chase Young. All right, man. The last thing I'm looking forward to is seeing my old team, the Patriots, because they basically won the offseason, and this doesn't happen very often in terms of all the signings. Bill knew that they were bad.